Hey everyone, and welcome to Rebel City Roundup, where I'll be giving you my take on the premier news and happenings in and around Cork this week. As you can see on the side of the screen, we have a full schedule today, so I won't keep you up much longer. If you enjoy these kinds of weekly review videos, please do consider subscribing. But now, without further ado, let's get going. For our first story today, there's an elephant in the room we need to address. Yep, that one. Is winter coming to Cork? Or is it just another overblown story? Well, technically winter is already here. Meteorological winter began quite some time ago. But when we're talking about snow, the answer is not quite as straightforward. Yes, we will be seeing some snowfall. In fact, it looks as if Monday evening and Tuesday morning might see the first of that. However, as far as those media stories are concerned about a return of the beast from the east around the end of the month, don't believe the hype. Yes, the sudden stratospheric warming that they gave as a reason in their stories has happened. In fact, it happened all the way at the beginning of January. However, the outcome of that isn't yet really foreseeable. And while long-term model calculations may show some snowfall towards the end of January and towards the beginning of February, that is by no means a guarantee. If you've spent as much time around weather models as I have, you will know that these models tend to fluctuate wildly the farther out from the beginning of the calculation you get. So by the time you get to around 10 days in advance, we could be looking at blizzards in one model run and 18 to 20 degrees in sunshine in the next model run. So there's really only one reply I can give to all those forecasters in the newspapers who keep talking about the return of the beast from the east. And wait a moment, I think I had it in here somewhere. Yeah, there it is. You're welcome. Next up, it's Bus Éireann, the gift that just keeps on giving down here in Cork. They started 24-hour operations last weekend, and so far they seem to be going pretty smoothly, unlike what I expected. However, it looks as if certain people in the capital have been triggered, for lack of a better word, by the whole development. What am I talking about? Well, enter Noel Rock, TD, that is Member of Parliament for Fine Gael Party and representative of a constituency in Dublin. He has recently taken to the airwaves and to the newspapers to complain bitterly that his city, Dublin, should have gotten the 24-hour bus service. It may have escaped Mr. Rock's attention, but there is a country outside of the M50 motorway. For those that don't know Dublin, that's the motorway ring around the city. And this area outside of the capital really needs a lot of investment. Quite frankly, this 24-hour service is the first real investment in public transport in Cork since I've come here. Now, if you compare that to Dublin, a city that gets all kinds of transport and infrastructure funding shoved up its rear end again and again like an overworked porn star, until you wonder, just like with an overstuffed turkey, how the hell they can keep it all in. Yeah, well, then there's only one way to react to Mr. Rock's clear and utter case of bus envy. Cry me a river, build me a bridge, and get over it. While we're on the topic of weird stuff getting pushed somewhere where it doesn't really belong, let's talk about McDonald's. Man, that was a great transition. Anyway, for the last few years, the fast food giant from the US has been fighting a pretty intense legal action with Galway-based fast food chain Supermax. For those that don't know Supermax, it's basically a glorified fish and chips chain. Sorry to put it that bluntly, but there's really not much else I can say. Anyway, if you check out the two company names and some of the product names, you can probably already see where the friction between these two fast food joints came from. And indeed, McDonald's has been taking Supermax to court in Europe about supposed trademark infringements, mainly with regards to their Big Mac trademark. Well, just last week, the European Intellectual Property Office, which I didn't even know existed, delivered its ruling in the whole matter, and it looks as if everything has backfired spectacularly for McDonald's. Their trademark for the Big Mac, which they had placed in several European countries, has been rescinded. This means that Supermax is now free to expand into Europe. Whether that's a blessing or a curse is a topic for an entirely different video. It is, however, a clear sign that you don't need to be a really big company to take it up with the giants from the US. Now, McDonald's theoretically can still appeal. I personally hope that they just take a page out of a Hindu playbook and give up the beef. And for the last story of the day, we reach into that wonderful little photo I have titled WTF. This time it's all about a beach in County Mayo here in Ireland, which has disappeared. Yep, you read that right, it has simply disappeared. And it isn't the first time that thing has happened. Doudna Beach on Achill Island originally disappeared for the last time in 1984 after a series of severe winter storms, and it only reappeared back in 2017 following some severe and rather unusual weather along the northwest coast of Ireland. Well, looking at the turbulent weather along the northwest coast of Ireland over the last couple of weeks, even a couple of months, it looks as if that son of a beach has decided to pack it up again because, as I said in the intro, the beach is gone. Now personally, with this story, I don't know whether I'm coming or going, but given that it has actually reappeared, I don't think we've seen the last of that son of a beach. And that's all from me today. If, unlike a certain beach, you want to return to this channel, please hit the subscribe button and also make sure to hit the little notification bell. YouTube has been a bit weird in that regard in recent times. If you want to give your view and your opinions of the stories that I covered, or if there's something completely different that you'd like me to cover at all, be sure to put it in the comment section below. I'm really eager to hear from you. And also be sure to give this video a thumbs up if you liked it and a thumbs down if you didn't. Any type of feedback, even negative feedback, is really important for me. Finally, please make sure to check out the video description for links to all stories as well as for links to my blog and my social media channels. That's all from me. Once again, thank you very much for watching and see you next week.